Hey Arrows, welcome to Dr. D's Pizza Party, a monthly video series where I interview people from the Watertown School District so you can get to know them a little better. Each month we'll also be featuring a different pizza place from Watertown. This month it's from Marco's Pizza. Do we have a little ham and pineapple today, Don?
It's the best one.
All right. Today's guest is Don Stormo, Director of Maintenance for the Watertown School District. Welcome, Don.
Welcome.
All right. So why don't we have you start by introducing yourself, tell us just a little bit about you.
So, my name is Don Stormo. I grew up in the Castlewood School District area. Grew up on a farm. Loved farming. Wish I could still be farming. But that wasn't possible. And from there I was the manager of Big Fleet Feeds in town here for a few years. And then I started with the Watertown School District. There's a controversy on when we started. I say I started in the fall of 1985. They say no, it's actually, I think it was March of 1986. But whatever it is, it's been a long time. And I started with the Watertown School District as a custodian at the high school. And 2 years later, I became the head person at the high school. And fall of 96, I took on the role as director of the school district, director of maintenance. And so I've been there for whatever people want to say, 39 or 40 years. And I'm still going strong.
That's right. So why don't you talk a little bit about the role that you play, the role of the head maintenance director, and then how that impacts the district?
Well, I guess the main role is when they have problems in the buildings, or problems wherever in the district, that they're not taken care of, then they call me and I come and deal with it. And our saying at the maintenance shop is impossible just takes us a little bit longer. But and it doesn't matter if it's heating systems that have problems or doors that aren't opening and closing to mowing all the lawns to, I mean, it's a pretty wide variety of everything. And construction wise, I guess I've overseen. You made a comment one time wasn't here for all the buildings being built, but I watched every one of them added onto, remodeled, some twice, and a lot of them being built. So I have seen them all go through some kind of transition.
So 40 years with the district, almost 30 years in this role. How's the job changed over the years?
The job has changed. They were a lot older buildings back then. A lot of people nowadays probably wouldn't even realize that we had old 3-story buildings at our Grant location, Garfield, and also McKinley. And they were all steam heat, and it was a very high maintenance thing. And I watched every one of those be tore down, and I'm glad. And now the buildings are in very good condition, in very good shape, and most of them are newer. When I say that, people don't realize Lincoln School was built in the same year I started, so 1985. I mean, so but the buildings are in tip-top shape. They really are.
I would agree. Don, you're kind of known that you can fix about anything, but maybe tell us what's the most interesting situation you've had to deal with here in your time at Watertown.
Probably the worst scenario that anybody could imagine is when the water main broke at the high school. This was long before your time, but the ground was all frozen. It was 20 below zero out, and the water followed the water pipe. And when it came up into the boiler room, it turned into a geyser, and of course all the electrical was there. It took out all the electrical. We had no water, we had no heat, we had no electricity. It was a disaster that nobody ever seen coming. And that one was, luckily that happened on Friday afternoon, and we did start school on Monday morning, but I don't have no idea how. So that was probably the biggest one.
Said the impossible just takes a little longer.
Could have used a few more days that time.
I know you don't spend 24/7 working for the district, pretty close. So what do you like to do outside of work?
Outside of work, I work more. I think. I guess I have flipped houses. I have done many things. I do go golfing 3 times a year. I do go fishing only twice a year because they drag me out in the lake and won't let me back in. And I'm not that big of a fisher because they always keep on saying the fish are going to bite any time now. And twice a year is all I can have. I spend a lot of time with my kids, either helping them remodel their own houses now, or I've got a granddaughter now that's 14 months old, so I spend a lot of time with them.
That's good. Good. Grandpa Don.
Grandpa Don.
All right. So tell us one thing that those of us who work with you might not know about Don Stormo.
They might not know. Well, something that I doubt anybody knows. It's probably huge. That when I was 4.5 years old, I was paralyzed from the chest down for almost a year and a half.
Wow.
Because of a broken neck. Nobody knew that.
Now the world's going to know.
That's okay. It happened a long time ago in a car accident, and I have overcome that and done a lot more than I ever thought I would.
See, you get a lot done. Get a lot done. Well, thanks again, Don, for appearing. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience?
I guess a big thing is we have had, during my time with the Watertown School District, we've had good administration, but I want to make the big point too, because I'll just say I'm sucking up on that one. But we have had amazing people working for the Watertown School District, and I'm not going to get into the teacher part. I'm talking about the custodians, maintenance people. We have had some very key players in maintaining these buildings and keeping them up, and they have been very dedicated and really care about what they're doing. And I hope that we continue to keep finding people like that.
And maybe now you want to put in a plug. You got a couple of people retiring this year
I do.
from your department.
I have 2 people that I've now worked with for just about 16 years. They have done all the mowing across the school district. They have been very heavy in the snow removal. And whenever we had these projects that got, I'm going to say that came our direction, whether it's bathroom remodels to just fixing heat pumps and that type of stuff, they were there, and they have done tremendous. But at all things, they start to wind down. They get older, and they have decided that they cannot work 40 hours a week anymore. And I mean, some of them, they could have retired before this point. They liked what they were doing also and working with me, but they were cutting back to 20 hours a week. I am going to solely miss them big time, because even through this summer, about the only thing they're going to be able to capable of doing in that 20 hours is mow the lawns. And a lot of people have no idea that if you added up the old stadium and all our buildings together, it's 102 acres of yard that get mowed every week. That takes time, and that takes dedication to do that.
Yeah. You want to name them?
Pam Hawkes and Rich Comas. And they have been a blessing to me. So.
And they stayed on to work with you, so we knew they would hang on there longer than most.
So come fall, when things are, then that's when the big change is going to happen. When Pam was going to drive the bus for 20 hours a week and keep going, but I think Rich is going to kind of cut back even more once the mowing is done, and so we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Don, for appearing on Dr. D's Pizza Party. We're going to try a little bit of this fine Marco's pizza here as we sign off.
By the way, I have this pizza every Tuesday night.
Oh, so you just had it?
I did.
All right. As we sign off, we're going to take a bite of this fine Marco's pizza.